And now, we gotta see if we have enough evidence to try to actually get our client an acquittal.
A Satan's sense is tingling. Oh, right. We have this. It's a vague thing, so I'll take it then.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. Hey, cool kid. Yes, you. Trying to look all stoic, staring out the window. A little late to try and look detached after that thing you pulled the other day. So that wasn't a joke? Making the announcement in front of the class? You trying to start a detective club or something? What mysteries? Disappearing cleaning supplies? Books not getting returned to the library? Sounds lame. Well, not like it's your fault. Everything's lame. Good luck finding members. Everyone around here already knows what they're gonna do after school. And tomorrow. And next year. They're all staring down the barrel of a lucrative career in telling other companies how to provide web services or whatever the hell this school's supposed to train us for. A lawyer? If you say so, cool kid. The Megs will probably have robots doing the same by the time you graduate, but sure. Law school's supposed to be hard to get into. You'll need a record that doesn't suck. Getting a club you started shut down because you couldn't get anyone to join probably won't help. Wow, so confident. You really are a cool kid. Well,
That's
that
one of the few.
happened.
True, but this is where I want to point out one of the few good things about our current timeline is that it's being regularly proved that AI cannot actually do anything in a court of law besides waste people's time.
Yep.
And let's hope it stays that way.
Well, the trick is, you actually have to get a judge that's willing to humor it, which is already a giant uphill battle because most judges range from about.
Somebody hand this some bitch a beer already, huh?
Okay. Thank you for the resubs, Zara. But yeah, the average age for a judge, I think, in America is like 56 to like 62. So they're not exactly up on like even trying to have technology in the courtroom.
Apparently this is my 69th straight month, so nice.
Oh.
Morgan, please, this is...
Hold still and relax. This will be over soon.
I thought you were joking about the makeup.
Of course I wasn't joking. A face like yours is invaluable in the courtroom.
And you think covering me in concealer and blush and applying eyeliner will help appeal to what demographic exactly?
You know the names of all this stuff?
I'm a modern man. I know names of many things, including makeup. Is that your eyebrow gel?
Yes?
It's cakey. Oh my god, he's even critiquing the type she's using.
Amazing.
Do you want to do the rest?
I think some of the jury might find that his wounds make him look rugged. And furthermore, from an aesthetic perspective, leaving some of his buttons undone will...
Excuse me?
You're clearly a very devoted martial artist, Sousuke. You should be proud to display your well-defined collarbones as the fruit of your efforts.
Fucking Sarah, please.
hear
no,
what you were saying is not what you think you were saying.
the robot has learned to what's the word? Thirst.
Oh. Just hold still. Appearances matter in the courtroom. 95% of defendants who are ever seen in prison garb at a trial are found guilty.
I don't doubt your tactics work, Morgan.
My tactics included getting your suit pressed. Do you want me to wrinkle it back up?
I just find them unpalatable. Trying to get the jury, these civilians, to pity me is shameful.
You're worried about honor. Really. You're already a cybernetic ninja, Sousuke. Don't be a stereotype.
Don't call other people stereotypes.
He's right. And he's more a cybernetic samurai since he's sworn himself to a wealthy land-owning noble.
I'm confused. Sousuke, is it honorable how your family makes their money? Made their money?
I'm not talking about morality, I'm talking about having principles. Yes, they're subjective, and yes, they can be hypocritical. But the further you stray from the common path, the more you need them. I mean, what about her? What would Sarah be like if she didn't have the tenets to guide her programming?
I can only imagine. But some people, believe it or not, enjoy their freedoms.
Adrift in the middle of the ocean, you're free to go in whatever direction you want. But without a compass, you'll just die of exposure.
If you only ever follow exactly what the compass says, you'll sail north until you freeze to death.
The point is, if you have a compass, you know which direction north is.
Fortunate for us all, then, that the state is a 1,000,000 megawatt North Star pointing towards the complacency at all times.
And the media is like the wind, and without wind, you'll get stuck in a tide.
Couldn't quite keep the theme going there, Sarah. It was a nice try, Sarah. Forget it. Do whatever you want with your brushes, woman.
And you're pouting again. Great. Sarah, just keep talking. Just keep him talking.
What? If I'm talking, how will you...
Trust me, I've done more delicate work before. Sarah, small talk.
Gladly.
Oh boy. Let's start with the easy one. Lift your chin.
You really think they'll feel bad for me because of some cuts and scrapes?
You're not good at listening to instructions, are you? The prosecution has to get 12 strangers to agree that you killed 5 men. Each charge has to be unanimous, a perfect score. So any chip damage we can do, any doubt we can sow, we take it. And any advantage we're given, we make full use of it.
The advantage you're talking about is my face.
Are you really not used to this kind of attention, Sousuke?
Look, it may be true that at times some women have expressed...
And men, no doubt.
All I'm saying is, if there's a difference between knowing your strengths and powdering up like this.
Are you trying to say no homo? It's okay, man. You're allowed to be gay. It's fine. Bisexual, even. Some people swing their swords both directions. Sorry, stop.
No, you're good. That was.
Sorry, no, I heard swing swords above direction. My first thought was, you can dual wield, right?
You understand. You understand where I'm going at with this. Okay.
Oh, you could be like Darth Maul and just have two ends.
Both at the same time.
Pretend it's war paint.
Is that how you see it?
No, but I'm a grown-up.
Whoa.
Ugh. Now let's get into the intricate realm of cyberpunk Yakuza tattoos.
Sousuke, do you happen to have any tattoos?
Are the jury going to ask about that or something?
They might.
Oh. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do have a tattoo. A komainu on my back.
Komainu. A guard dog.
You have a tattoo of a dog.
Woof.
It's a fierce guardian deity.
Like a Labrador or...
Like a great, fierce, a big dog.
Oh no, he's also a wrestling fan.
Perhaps you should have changed it to some other design. Like, say... a dragon.
Dear Lord, how long were you...
Just... Alright. Alright. Alright.
There's no switching.
You can't just peel it off? Sorry.
I thought they came... No, just again from her. I thought they came off with hot water.
Again, you can't just peel it off?
The buyer's remorse must be unbearable.
There's no buyer's remorse.
Thank you for entertaining my questions last night, Sousuke.
Did she ask you about your dimensions?
The subject might have come up.
I love the Sousuke sprite right now. That face.
She's a talkative one, isn't she?
Sorry she kept you up all night.
No, she's no trouble, just curious. Reminds me of... we discussed history.
Oh? Well then, she must have put you right to sleep.
It was his choice of subject.
So you read history, Sousuke? Here I assumed you spent all your free time frowning in the corners of rooms with your arms crossed.
We talked about the Roman Empire, for your information.
And criminal empires.
Nothing too detailed, I hope.
But Sousuke, I still don't understand. What did you mean when you said criminal organizations used to be structured differently?
Only that the old ways don't fit in our new 21st century world.
Remind me to teach you about the Rico trials, Sarah.
Old ways?
Well,
He's talking about race, Sarah.
I don't understand.
Well, that's to be expected. After all, you share 98% of your components with a washing machine.
Okay, that's some level of...
That is an untrue and unflattering comparison.
Maybe you do get it.
Look, Sarah. Names like Mafia, Gokudo, Sanhei Hui, they all come from different cultures. They all refer to a kind of path. An outsider's path, and the pride that comes with living by your own set of rules. Those were the first criminal organizations, underground guilds, lending systems, militias, secret societies.
Oh sure, they were basically just big friendly charities.
Then the world got smaller, and people started moving around, and the mafia changed. It became a way for immigrants to band together to have some kind of power in places that wouldn't give them a chance at anything remotely respectable. But the world kept getting smaller and more complex, and eventually that kind of community couldn't form, let alone survive.
Why?
Not enough shared experiences.
Shared experiences, I see.
Fancy way of saying the internet came along.
Well, yes. Technology negates the physical distance between people. When you spend most of your life online, you end up with more in common with people on the other side of the planet than your own neighbors. Just because of where your recommendations take you.
So the immigrant experience disappeared?
Fractured, more like. Cracked into a million shards with a hammer. While generational or economic experiences got cemented. The world is more diverse and varied than it's ever been, in every sense. Except economically.
Woof.
Wealth inequity is at historical highs.
As it has been every year for...
Since before I was born.
To answer your question, Sarah, that's what binds the members of a criminal organization to one another, their socioeconomic status. House Ikaria is at the top, the Blue Bloods lie below us. Within each organization, wealth is concentrated among the back of my throat there. Within each organization, wealth is concentrated among the leadership, of course, but each mafia exists in an entirely different strata.
He just chokes and dies on the spot.
What a way to go out.
I see. I've also read about an organization called The Rust being active here in the city. Are they in the poverty class then?
Rust. I'd put them in the anarchy class. Glowing tattoos and spiked hair, chrome biceps and sharpened teeth. The Blue Bloods, for all their faults, can put on a tie and go to work, but I can't see the Rust experiencing any kind of social mobility.
Not
Careful,
without
Sousuke. Yeah. Careful, Sousuke. If the Rust heard you being that classist.
The Rust wouldn't care about anything I said or who I stand with. They don't need any excuse to start ripping open modders and grabbing whatever they can.
things like that happen in the city?
Only in the shadows, Sarah. Nowhere you'd ever find yourself.
Oh, they're both like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, not with that attitude.
Finally run out of steam.
On to the grim business, then. How'd things go with your investigation? That bad, was it?
Nonsense! It was pretty bad. With what I've seen so far, there's no one else who could have killed Chopin. Even if I managed to pick apart all the evidence for the pod's deaths, They've got a police officer who will swear on the stand that he arrested Sousuke standing over his partner's dead body.
What's it going to look like in there?
You've never been inside a courtroom?
Never as a defendant. I'm just wondering how many cops I should expect.
In the gallery, a sea of blue. Cheap intimidation tactics.
Yes, but I can't fault them for that. We'd line up as much the same for one of our... Had a hiccup there.
You say that, and yet you don't see any other Ikaria around?
This is a completely different scenario. And the house can't afford to appear beside a cop killer when they're being audited by the state.
How understanding of you!
I think Sousuke is sad that his friends haven't shown up.
Good catch.
You were hired by Makoto of House Ikaria, weren't you? Surely he would want to be in attendance.
Don't be absurd. Makoto shouldn't be transported anywhere without a full security team. Besides which, he shouldn't be put through the long elevator ride to this 48th floor just for my sake.
What's so bad about an elevator ride?
Is he claustrophobic?
No, that is... yes, but... You cannot tell anyone, understand?
Who the hell would I tell that to?
Right.
Look, it's illegal to stream trial proceedings under most circumstances, but I'm sure House Ikaria doesn't mind paying a fine. They'll be watching from somewhere in the courtroom.
That would be a waste of the house's coin. But I suppose they might consider keeping an eye on the case's progression.
As with the Blue Bloods, no doubt.
I think Sousuke's spirits have rallied.
Really? How can you tell?
Yay!
He lifted his gaze, and his eyes seemed brighter, as if...
Good, now try and keep his spirits high.
How do I do that?
Think of something fun! I love the way that she faded out. She started to blush there.
Right. Sousuke, shall we arm wrestle?
Oh. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Emma. You seem tired. Want to push this off till next week?
Actually, that sounds... Hey.
Sorry. But we'll be facing off soon enough. Why not savor the playfulness while we still can?
Fair enough.
Losing sleep over this case?
Not really, no. Things look pretty cut and dry to me. What about you? You toss and turn all night before your big debut as a mob lawyer?
Not at all, I slept like a rock.
Lucky.
Pressing X to doubt.
I mean, I've been getting good rest, more or less. Just been having a lot of late nights recently.
Late nights? Like, going out?
No,
Ah,
just late night chats. Something in Morgan's head was like, oh, you are actually outside at night? Prepares gun.
chatting about what?
God, look at all of them. Never seen so many cops in one building. They'd bring a marching band into the courtroom if they could. Theater.
Right. Well, theater and trial weren't all that far apart back in ancient Greece.
Would hope we'd progressed since then.
You don't approve of the show of force, I take it?
Is it that obvious? I'd like to say this is because of who Chopin's family is, but we both know that's not what this is really about. A cop is dead. The state wants to make it clear that isn't tolerated.
Cops volunteer to defend our laws and protect us citizens.
Volunteers don't get paid. Besides, cops, courts, the state, all they can do is enforce the laws, not defend them. Guns and arms can't defend against corrosion anyway. Rot comes from the deep.
So you'd rather that death of a police officer get the same treatment as any other citizen?
Suppose that's not possible. They get increasingly fewer chances to play the victim every year, and they never let the opportunity pass. No, I guess the best I could hope for is that the state makes the same show of force whenever any crime is committed. If they treated every death like the death of a cop, maybe I could have caught HBK by now.
You're still on that.
Of course, shooting deaths are down, but do you know how many missing persons cases there are in this city? How many deaths get written up as mod harvesting attacks gone wrong? It's a big city, Morgan. More than enough blood running through the streets for HBK to launder their kills in.
Should not have done that mid-smoke. Okay, I'm good.
You fool!
I thought I could handle it. You shouldn't joke like that.
What? You don't believe me? Just last month, missing person. The report was filed by their employer when they didn't show up to work, 7 days after they had last been seen by anyone. They were just some part-time worker, no close friends, no family. They went to work, and they came home, paid their bills, and they disappeared. And no one cared or even noticed until their job didn't get done and those bills went unpaid. No one noticed until they stopped buying in. Body was found a full 2 weeks later. The decay was...
What happened to them?
blunt force to the back of the head. Something metallic with a sharp corner, we think.
It was a roughly cubed machine part I pulled from a dumpster nearby.
Damn.
It fit snugly in my hand, and it caved through his skull like a shovel through snow.
Kicked into the bay. Might not have ever been weighed down. Just thrown away like a cheap.
That's terrible! Did you find any belongings on them?
No.
So probably a mugging then, right?
No, there would have been other injuries from a struggle. And a thief who accidentally committed murder would be too panicked, too terrified to...
You know how muggers think now?
I can learn how anyone thinks. Even HBK, with a robust enough profile.
Well, good luck building it all by your lonesome.
I'm not working on this by myself. Ah, sorry. Right. Did you want to beg for mercy real quick before we begin?
Now where would the fun be in that?
I love that Emma's basically like a very soft kind of bully to where like she knows she's the bigger fish and likes to get a little kick in the pebble every now and then.
The courtroom courtroom gallery is quite full today, isn't it?
Oh no, it's an episode of Ruby.
Oh no.
Awash with a sea of pissed off cops.
It doesn't exactly shore up one's confidence, does it?
5 counts of murder would be newsworthy any day of the week. Add in the fact one of the bodies belongs to a cop, and a crowd was to be expected. Didn't think they'd be so quiet, though. Maybe they're all just waiting to be waiting for firing the pistol before they can start casting their stones. Don't let it get to you, Sousuke. They're just posturing.
Posturing, I understand. I've been in attendance for my share of tense negotiations. But the bloodlust in those rooms was always mutual.
You don't feel any animosity towards these cops?
I'm used to summoning my temper on command. I might have forgotten how to get angry for my own sake.
You just worried about the jury.
What about the adjutant? They cannot be intimidated by muscle, bribed with cash, or disarmed with a fine tailoring. All of which makes them quite favored when it comes to prosecuting organized crime.
Have you been in court many times before then?
It's an eye for an eye in the world we operate in. We don't file assault charges, we just answer them. Though even that has become rare. The house is elevated. Blue bloods and rust and of all the rest of the rabble. We're beyond their reach now. And when it comes to our peers, we communicate very differently.
I wouldn't say you're that far away. Remember, Blue Bloods did kidnap you instead of Makoto. Must make being a bodyguard pretty boring.
I think your work sounds very rewarding and exciting, Sousuke.
Thank you.
Especially the other day when you were captured and beaten by your rivals.
See, Sarah gets it.
Yes. What I was trying to hint at, Morgan, is that you should not be expecting assistance from the house.
Honestly, the thought hadn't crossed my mind. Being on the winning side for once? What the hell would that even feel like?
So there won't be any men in black approaching the jury during lunch and offering them paper bags of cash?
No.
Well, if we do really bad, we won't even make it to lunch, so...
Sousuke, what are you staring at? Are you looking for the jury?
No, I know they aren't here. It used to be mandated that juries be physically present for court proceedings. People felt it was important that they look the accused in the eye.
To help them evaluate their character?
Why bother? Most people suck at that. Always have.
True. Perhaps it was considerate for the punishment, then. To have to look them in the eyes.
Punishment for the jury or the defendant?
Alright, kiddos. Chins up, shoulders out. Show's about to start.
I just remembered. Do you think the adjutant assigned to this particular case? Obviously, it's gonna be me! Obviously. I mean, that's a gimme easy.
He's back!
How?
It's... Heidi. What are the chances?
There should be at least 83 other personalities in this building network. At least!
Well, Your Honor, thank you for...
presiding so honorably. I do try. Cause it's a trial. Tougher crowd than usual. And that's not counting all the grim monoliths standing tall out there in the gallery. Who died?
5 people, Your Honor.
Yikes! What's the damage?
2 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of homicide in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of homicide in the 1st degree.
Buddy, you trying to set a gold split with all that? What's with the record-setting grind set?
The prosecution stands ready.
So shall we begin?
Sick.
I just love that one of those is import persona dog. That work in progress.
Now, let's crack open those opening statements and get this case summarized.
Gladly, Your Honor. People of the court. The defendant in this case is a man named Sousuke Ikaria. He was found at the scene of the crime where 2 men were shot to death, one was stabbed in the neck, another had their skull bashed in. And a police officer was impaled through the back with a sword. Well, that's new. Stop killing, piece of shit! Please pardon any outbursts from the gallery that your mics may inadvertently pick up. Now, I understand that the scale of violence on display here today may intimidate you. But I want to stress to all of you now that your responsibility here today is neither taxing nor complex. You will hear testimony, and you will be shown evidence. And all of it will point towards the truth. That a defendant is the only individual who could have possibly committed these crimes. This is a simple fact. And the only one you need to concern yourself with.
Ooh, she's as cold as ice. But every ice age beckons a kindling. For as ashes call to cinders and embers form champions.
Defense is ready, Your Honor! Emma did stick to the cold logic, so if I follow her with more of the same, it'll end up falling flat. This gallery will never warm up to us. That can work to our advantage, if the jury comes to see these cops as witch hunters eager to start a pyre. Oh boy! Oh, the most outlandish words I can go for broke? Okay. It's not like Masters never taught me anything. I know how to do the razzle-dazzle. My fellow citizens, you were brought here today because an act of violence took place that could only be described as...
Unspeakable.
Yeah. Unspeakable. I should know. I was there. I saw the blood on the ground, the bullet holes in the walls, felt the... I feel like
horror
would
or
work.
malevolence?
I feel like appealing to the lowest common denominator would work best here.
Fair enough.
Damn. Felt the horror that radiated in the air. And I also saw where my client was held prisoner. And I knew exactly where he must have stood, because his sweat and blood had stained the tile. My client, a decorated veteran, the man you see standing next to me here, not even fully healed from his... Yeah, torture. From his torture, was taken into police custody with lacerations, bruises, internal bleeding, broken bones. And while he was in police custody, he somehow sustained a black eye, a busted lip, a broken nose, and a boxed ear. A puzzle which I'm sure any one of the officers in the gallery today would be happy to testify about.
You're gonna let her say that? You want me to object during an opening statement?
Much is resting on the outcome of this trial. 5 men lie dead in the morgue, one of them a police officer, Tariq.
Don't speak his name, you mob lawyer bitch! Hang him up! Hang her too! This is...
I feel like I understand this is a fictional courtroom, but I feel like probably they would need to hang that jury and get a different one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Hey, we like to have fun in this courtroom, put on a good show. But that's because we're on the stage. Any more outbursts from the gallery, and I'll clear the entire room. You can all watch the rest on your phones, or peek in through the keyhole like a bunch of sweaty looky-loos. Counselor, let's wrap this up.
Yes, Your Honor. The fact of the matter is, on that night, my client was not in any condition to kill anyone. Not 4 hardened criminals, and certainly not a trained police officer. And nothing about my client's background, his association, or that of the victims can change that fact. So as you listen to all the evidence in this trial, with fairness and impartiality, as I know you will strive to, I only ask that you focus on the reality of this horrible crime, and not on the fiction that the people will try to weave for you. Thank you.
Decorated veteran?
Shh. You're telling me you never earned a single commendation? Most push-ups of a day? Or something?
Never mind. I suppose it could have gone much worse.
You're too kind.
I was trying to be honest. The crowd got agitated, but you maintained a level head and recovered your tempo.
They are a master at doing so. I've seen her make comebacks from the most nonsensical mistakes before.
Calling out
It was
bad
one
players.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was one mistake.
In martial arts, they call it a yukemi. A graceful fall.
That is basically correct.
Well, try not to gracefully fall over when you see the first witness on the docket, Sousuke.
What do you mean by that? Your name and occupation, for the record.
How can that be necessary? If some blathering idiot in that courtroom doesn't already know who I am, they don't deserve...
I know, but would you consider it if only for the sake of ceremony?
Ceremony is important and should be respected. Very well. I am Makoto Ikaria of House Ikaria. My occupation? Bastard. Is that of a student.
Trying to look so smug about it when you blatantly lie.
Right, of course. And your position with the Ikaria Financial Group?
Is not salaried. Must I really declare it here?
Hard to imagine why the noble house of Ikaria is getting audited.
Sousuke, are you alright?
He can see us.
He can see me, Rockford, and the adjutant. Witnesses tale to testify don't really need much else.
So he's safe.
Yes, Sousuke, he's safe, like he was yesterday. Probably sitting right where I left him, while standing on a box. I think the hologram's giving him a boost so he can see over the stand.
Damn.
That's good. Morgan likes bullying children, confirmed.
To be fair, little Billy Dangan Rompa deserves all of it.
Bears. No Billy Dangan Rompa. Sorry, that just hit me after you said it.
Boost to his height?
That he's safe at home.
I'm sorry that he can't see you, Sousuke.
Don't be. After how horribly I failed him, I'd like you to speak a bit about the events of August 13th. About the last time you saw the defendant, Sousuke Ikaria.
I'm here today, not physically, but here nonetheless as a courtesy. That does not mean I will flap my gums like some sort of flapping gum puppet.
Permission to treat the witness as hostile incoming. Emma Rockford, raking a spoiled brat over the coals. This'll almost be worth the price of admission alone.
I understand. It was a traumatic experience, I'm sure. Anyone of normal upbringing would barely be able to recall a single detail, let alone the day's full events.
Normal upbringing?
I should probably dismiss you so you can go back to your summer studies.
Summer studies? Like some common wife? Waif?
Waif.
Wave.
Waif? That's quite the vocab pull. I didn't know they taught that in State Basic. Oh no.
Oh dear. Basic.
Was I mistaken?
Listen well, Madam Rockford, as I demonstrate to you exactly how misguided you are about my powers of retention.
Please do.
Played like a damn fiddle. In fact, 1 second. Did it do?
They played us like a damn fiddle!
I'm glad I have
Amazing.
that cap.
Ah. Waif is another word for ragamuffin or urchin. Why wasn't she mentioned during any of our trial preparations?
She has only won against her once.
So far, every hot streak saw somewhere.
A hot streak? I really am going to prison, aren't I?
Listen, Sousuke, if I had a nickel for every mob lawyer with a gambling addiction, I wouldn't need to be a lawyer.
Where shall I start?
As far back as you can.
A simple task. For the past year, members of the organization, most commonly referred to as the Blue Blood Mafia, have been making attempts on my life. Did you steal their lunch money or something? I am the primary beneficiary of my grandfather, Daisuke Ikaria's will. In common parlance, I am the sole heir to the Ikaria Financial Group. You could buy so much lunch. The group you know as the Blue Bloods have been jealous of my family's financial foresight for decades. I am merely the most recent target of their impotent attempts to nip at our heels.
And 2 days ago, on August 13th, how impotent was their attempt then?
I was leaving a meeting held in the upper floors of Crane Tower. My security detail escorted me to the elevators, where we would then proceed down to their canopy access floors.
This was all planned out in advance?
By my head of security, Sousuke Ikaria. But the elevator became stuck with unnatural timing. When Sousuke pried the doors open, we saw that we were stuck between the 62nd and the 61st floors.
Pried open with a tool?
Leading the witness, Your Honor.
He didn't need a tool to open the doors. His bare hands were more than sufficient. Stupid fucking child.
Yep. Help Sousuke out here, kid.
We submit into evidence the defendant's Akita Type 2 military-grade spinal mod, designed to enhance strength, endurance, and reflexes for high-intensity combat scenarios.
Yes, sir. It is so admitted.
What happened next?
The decision was made that we would crawl out onto the 61st floor and head for the service elevators. But once Sousuke and I exited, the elevator started up. It was a trap. We had been cut off from the rest of my detail.
You were isolated and defenseless. That must have been...
Hardly defenseless. You really think my personal head of security wouldn't be armed? Stupid fucking child. He had Yoru.
Don't tell me. You named your sword.
All great swords have names.
Thank you, Seta. Very well put. Let the record show the witness has identified Exhibit B3 as belonging to the defendant. This sword was recovered by the police in a known blue blood den in the lower wards. Found impaled into the body of Tariq Chopin. And forensics have shown that the only fingerprints on it are those of the defendant.
There's still time for you to disown it, Sousuke!
You understand nothing about a swordsman's heart.
Once again, it is your paralegal that has the right of it. Perhaps she should be leading my defense.
If this somehow turns into a fencing competition, I'll gladly defer to you two.
So you, Sousuke, and Yoru were on the 61st floor together. What happened next?
Also, I 100% believe that if it did devolve into a fencing match, immediately Morgan would pull out a gun and Indiana Jones it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then everyone's like gasping, like, what? I thought the point was to win.
When we arrived at the service elevators, Sousuke called them, and then they made a chime. And I didn't clearly see much of what happened next, to tell the truth. Figures emerged from around the corners. They were aiming weapons at me. Red dot shown on my chest. Sorry, I was taking a sip of water.
You good?
And then Sousuke was there, and a needle was sticking out of his arm. Yoru glinted. Sousuke had drawn it in a blink of an eye. Something glanced off of it and dropped to the floor. I saw a syringe at my feet. Yoru's sheath was thrust into my arms, pushing me back into the elevator, and I landed on my rear. That's clearly a key piece of testimony. Let's play it back 5 times. What matters is he pushed me back into the elevator with Yoru's sheath. How I landed is irrelevant and should be stricken from all public records. The only other thing I saw was Sousuke's back. He slammed his head against the elevator's control panel, and the doors shut.
And that's the last time you saw the defendant?
The decision was made that I should get on a VTOL as soon as possible. But much of my detail stayed behind to assess what happened.
Yes, they were very helpful into building security and recovering Exhibit 5C, this hypodermic needle gun.
What kind of bonehead would leave evidence like that behind?
A bonehead in a rush, perhaps, Your Honor. It does appear to have exhausted its gas canister, so it may have outlived its usefulness.
I take it that this weapon is a match for the projectile needles found in the room where my client was restrained.
Correct. Others exactly like them were recovered from the scene of the ambush as well. Makoto, did you see the faces of the men who attacked you?
Ha! All too clearly. I can tell you every detail of their roughshod countenances. Ha! That sounds like a good bit of testimony. Hit it.
Oh. Alright, I forgot I had to click all of them in. Okay.
Oh, actually, there is a way to, like, make this so that it's not, like, forcing you to time. Can you hit escape?
Okay.
Or, well, will not
Alright.
let you.
Yeah, I'm pressing escape now.
Damn. Oh, well. There's a way to turn this off so that it doesn't automatically go forward so that we can, like, go in between. I just can't remember.
I think we'll have to set in for
Okay.
Goes putting his talents hyperbole on full display.
Okay, now you can, whoop, there we go. Settings. Display controls, testimony, inside, tutorials, info by access, high roller mode. Color mode. Aha, there it is. Time sensitive choices. No time limit. There we go. That'll help us out with this segment tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here.
Final man. So nothing to call out on this because we only got Yoru and the needles.
Uh-huh. Blocked every shot. Okay, so I think we could call on who tried to kill him with,
The needles, yeah.
yeah. Okay, do.
Yoru. The Pompadour. Right here. And needles.
go! They couldn't have been trying to kill the witness, not with non-lethal projectiles.
They fired a lot of them. The witness doesn't weigh that much.
Don't try it. This attack was clearly planned with the intent of capturing Makoto alive.
Meaning what? That the 4 of this case's victims were actually soft-hearted pacifists?
There's nothing soft-hearted about what they did to my client after capturing him. Using tools they clearly originally planned to use on the witness.
So they're sadists? I'm getting confused here.
So is the defense, Your Honor. What matters is that the witness has identified the defendant's captors as the 4 blue blood victims that he is accused of murdering.
Makoto did establish that much, but something about this attack still bothers me. Emma put Makoto on the stand specifically to identify the victims. It's possible that the men who attacked them weren't Creek's pod.
No.
Yeah, no.
They definitely were.
I don't disagree, Your Honor. The men who attacked Makoto and took Sousuke captive are the same ones who ended up dead that night. But 2 questions do occur to me. Why were you safe on that service elevator if Sousuke surely collapsed the very moment it shut? Wouldn't these men have pursued you by any means necessary?
That is...
I can answer that, Your Honor. When the police inspected the scene, they found the control panel for calling that elevator on the 61st floor was broken. Smashed, in fact, the attackers would have had to manually pry open the doors to even attempt to chase after Makoto. And that would take remarkable modded strength.
Did you mash the button that forcefully, Sousuke?
I may have used more force than necessary. I wasn't exactly trying to hold myself back at the time.
You hit the controls hard enough to break them? So the Blue Bloods couldn't pursue you further, and instead elected to take Sousuke captive.
A Sousuke in the hand is better than a Makoto in the bush. That's fucking you.
Nice try, 80. The head of Makoto's security would surely have been made for an invaluable source of information for planning future attacks. Were he made to talk? Are you denying that?
No, but I would like to ask the witness one other question. Why'd you get off the elevator in the first place? Oh, this is where it comes.
What are you? Hey, what I mentioned in the lobby earlier, that's...
The mics might not be picking up on it for you, but from where I'm standing, I can't help but overhear my client groaning about how badly he failed you.
That's not evidence or testimony, and so should be stricken from the record.
But we get the idea. So, was bailing out early the defendant's big brain idea? As head of my personal security detail, such a decision is ultimately his to make. However, that decision may have been influenced by his knowledge of the fact that I am not especially comfortable in enclosed spaces.
What are you doing? Are you trying to humiliate him?
In part. I'm also trying to insult you.
Had we simply waited, we would have remained safe, but I was not comfortable and felt very warm. So it was not a tactical failure on Sousuke's part, per se.
Just an error of judgment!
Huh?
Counselor Morgan.
What's up? You can disconnect the call if...
Ask me another question. Ask me about how bravely Sousuke defended me.
Huh, so that's your angle.
We can't all be as naturally gifted at extracting valuable testimony out of spoiled brats as Emma. But I can follow her example. Insult their pride and these Ikarias snap back, as reliable as any knee-jerk reaction. And in Makoto's case, it's infinitely less resistance than if I had simply asked him to testify.
It's usually the lawyers who do the asking and the witnesses who do the answering. This is not very realistic.
Okay, Seer, Cinema Sins.
We asked that the witness testify for the court in more detail about exactly how valiantly Sousuke fought off the attackers.
And I guess the people don't object, even though it seems super extra.
No, the people don't object, Your Honor.
Emma's playing passively. Either I'm onto something here or I'm walking into a trap. Screw it. All in on the former.
Alright, so we got needle guns, Sousuke's medical records, and needles.
Sousuke was outnumbered from the beginning.
That is not what I saw.
Okay, so you alright? There's where we call because he definitely had many injuries, including getting shot.
He got at least the he at least got a few needles stuck in him.
I was gonna say, what happened to the needles?
Oh wait, ooh, it might be needles or his. Okay, thank God.
Yeah. Unscathed is the last thing anyone called my client after the events of that day. One look at his medical data from when he was arrested will tell you that much.
What are you getting at, counselor? The defendant's injuries were sustained at the Blue Blood's den, not at Crane Tower. The police didn't find even one drop of blood anywhere near that service elevator.
Well, that is a miracle. A bloodless ambush. But the fact that no blood was found makes it all more painfully obvious what actually happened to the elevator panel.
The elevator panel?
My client broke half the bones in his left hand, smashing it up.
Oh, that too.
Did you really?
I might have. There was a lot of adrenaline at the time.
Did you not form a proper fist? Was your wrist not in alignment with your forearm?
As I said, Sarah, there was a lot of adrenaline.
Do you deny that his medical records clearly show his left hand was broken?
Your Honor, what does it matter that the defendant broke his left hand closing that elevator? It changes nothing about the witness's testimony.
Raised because he was saying they wielded Yoru with two hands.
Oh no, it was the one hand that broke the one hand that broke the panel was the one that they found on the sword, so yeah. Or no. Oop. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll go here.
Of course it does.
How so? Ah, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we went too far ahead on that one. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, maybe true that this wrinkle doesn't change any witness's testimony, but does change the nature of the evidence you had to identify in the court.
The katana?
Yoru.
Yoru.
Its name is Yoru.
We get it. Did you have a point to make, counselor?
There's something odd about the katana that's been entered into evidence. Something that makes no sense given that we've learned about the outcome of this ambush, namely the sword's
Prince.
Same with the fingerprints that were found on the sword's handle. Fingerprints belonging to Sousuke's right hand.
You're contradicting yourself, Counselor. We've already discussed how it was your client's left hand that he broke closing off the elevator. There's nothing contradictory about him using his right arm to wield the blade.
It can be like this because Sousuke has 2 hands.
The people are correct. The sword found at the scene of the crime has my client's right hand fingerprints on its handle. Despite the fact that this witness just testified that Sousuke was swinging with both hands.
Like a graceful swatter, specifically. Oh, yeah, he did say that. So, did the little tyke misremember?
It was a chaotic situation where he feared for his life. The court should hardly expect him to have kept track of such an inconsequential detail.
Have you already forgotten my monogamous powers of recollection?
Her tactics from earlier backfired.
I'll have you know I can recite all of my subordinates' birthdays down to the hour.
That's alarming.
Write them all down so I can calculate their moon signs later.
God, she would be an astrologist.
It doesn't matter whether the witness is mistaken about Sousuke's grip, Your Honor. Because we have a much bigger issue to address. Why the sword only has my client's fingerprints on it.
Oh. Okay, I see what... Sorry, I realize what she's going for. How does it have only his prints? How'd they get the sword from there?
I'm going to testify that Sousuke wielded this katana in his defense. An act of bravery that ended with my client face down on the floor of Crane Tower. He later woke up, held captive in the lower wards. I'll state the obvious here and say while he was unconscious, he was moved. And so the sword we have in records must have also been handled by... We haven't even met this guy yet!
He's dead, we can't.
No, I think that's his dad.
No, that is Chopin.
Oh, that is him?
Yeah,
Wow,
that's him.
For what a fuck-up he was, I did not expect him to look that old.
We looked at his profile before, and he's only like early 30s, late 20s. But yeah, Creek.
Yeah, I'm trying to click it.
Click and drag?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, we forgot the mix. It's fine.
Our poor victim, Creek, of course.
What do you mean?
Sousuke was knocked unconscious at Crane Tower. That means someone else must have brought his sword down to the lower wards. And the only person who had the opportunity to do so would have been his captors.
You mean his victims? Withdrawn. The defense is forgetting a fairly simple fact, Your Honor. There's been more than one way to hold a sword.
Oh, you're gonna try to say that they put in this like sheath, but Makoto had the sheath.
A worm?
I think they were trying to do like a futuristic word, but
No, that's a meme.
oh, that is?
Yeah, a worm is a meme.
Oh, that's a new one for me.
Same.
It's
Okay.
fairly old. It was popularized, I want to say, probably about five-ish years ago.
Oh, that one missed me completely.
I used to have a friend who said it all the time.
Ah, worm. In case the defense needs it clarified, Creek could have simply held the sword by its scabbard. Alright, this is where we would have raised.
Yeah. That's not possible, Your Honor. Makoto's already testified that Sousuke left the sword scabbard with him when he thrust him back into the elevator.
I thought he said he wanted it stricken from the record.
Oh.
No, he got the part where he landed on his ass stricken.
Right.
Yeah, there it is.
I see. And since a cursed sword can't be wreath sheathed until it's tasted blood.
No, 80, wrong anime.
Yes, Your Honor, very well said. We would have found the scabbard at the Blue Blood's den if Creek and his men had taken it with them. Instead, I imagine Makoto took it home.
You think he took key evidence from his own assault and kept it from the police?
Of course I did. Oh, wrong voice. Of course I did. I mean, that would have been really funny, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a kid, so it works too.
As if I would trust officers of the law to properly handle a family heirloom as precious as Yoru's sheath. Impressive insight. But what does this actually mean? Is there some mistake with how the evidence was handled?
There's no mistake here. This was all done with intention. The intention to frame my client. By putting his fingerprints onto the sword, but after the culprit had already handled it.
What a load of bullshit.
And the crowd goes wild. Though it does make a certain kind of sense.
Because of the truth, I did wipe the katana's handle down after removing it from Trey's throat. So
Don't say that out loud.
I love the inner monologue. Like, that has to be like the last level where she forgets to do her internal monologue and just says it out loud eventually. Sousuke just happened to be foolish enough to pick it up himself afterwards. It's frustrating having to keep all my best cards up my sleeve this time around. But the look on his face when I do get to toss them out is... Eh!
Oh, Emma's theme now. The people are more than ready to counter if it pleases the court.
No.
Oh.
The defense has made an admirable effort to barrel ahead with this theory. Admirable, but predictable. With a foundation this weak, charging ahead and hoping the court won't notice is the only option. Let us speak of the facts. This Creek character led a targeted ambush on the heir to House Ikaria, knowing he'd be guarded by a full security team. The Blue Bloods successfully sabotaged and intercepted Makoto's elevator at the precise floor they wanted, meaning they knew exactly where he'd be and when. And they brought with them drugs capable of disabling a veteran with military-grade mod. Planning and attention to detail may be foreign concepts to the defense, but they should at least be able to recognize them. So is the defense seriously suggesting that after all that preparation, Creek's pod wouldn't bother to wear gloves?
I'm glad you asked so nicely.
What are we looking at here? Right hand press on the handle. Leader blah blah, face ID, second shot, second last dead. Ah, Creek's fingerprints.
We don't need to speculate about whether they wore gloves or not. Not when we have Creek's fingerprints on a weapon recovered from the crime scene.
That is...
A pretty good point, actually. Guess these guys were sloppier than we thought. Those blackguards were barefaced when they attacked us.
That's one of those weird words where it's pronounced differently than it's spelled. It's very like blackguards.
Oh, so here's funny story. I've always heard the word said. I've never seen it spelled.
Yeah, it's
Oh
weird,
yeah, no,
huh?
that's a lot with this game.
Yeah, so I apologize to the
No,
court.
no, you're
Good.
fine. You're fine. It's just
I apologize to the court. I apologize to Chad. I will mess up.
honestly, no. It's fine for 80 because she would mispronounce it or
I
Makoto.
also feel like Makoto would also
Yeah.
because like here's the thing with him too is the fact that he's reading books. He's not talking to people. I don't know that this boy has actually spoken to another teenager in his life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, idiots. As if there wouldn't be repercussions for their actions. At the least they could have done was disguise themselves.
Strike that from the record, Your Honor. Along with any future comments that suggest the Icaria would want revenge against these victims.
I was only speaking a plain truth. Creek was their leader, correct? Even if Creek wasn't wearing gloves, it's hard to imagine that none of them got their prints onto Yoru.
Unless the sword was indeed wiped down at some point afterwards.
Yes, truly. Who could have done that? Don't count that I'm always wearing gloves. Like right around the time the true culprit was looking for Sousuke to take the fall.
It's a spicy theory.
It's just that, Your Honor. A theory.
A
far-fetched-
thing- Sorry.
God damn it.
One of us was going to do
I thought about doing it, gave up, and then you snatched it. A far-fetched, unstable theory that stacks oh boy, here we go. A far-fetched, unstable theory that stacks presuppositions upon each other. Oh man, now I'm flubbing up words.
Yeah, that one is... I don't know why I know this one's presuppositions.
That's presuppositions. That's it. Like a flapjack chef. Oh my god, I'm butchering everything. Like a flapjack chef substituting quantity for quality. I'll rephrase. This inconsistency is easily answered without jumping through the defense's absurdly arranged hoops.
That's a little better.
We already know that the Blue Bloods had successfully taken down the Icaria's head of security. And we already know that they went out of their way to take the defendant captive despite him not being their original target. Furthermore, as the defense has belabored, we know that they decided to take a useless piece of steel with them from the scene of the crime. Useless? If we ask why, the answer is obvious. Because orcas are superstitious and immature. They wanted a trophy. And what is there to do with a trophy other than polish it? Oh, the cloth! Right, the one thing at the scene that even Morgan was like, what the fuck?
The cloth from Creek's desk. I knew she flagged it in the ox for some reason, but she thought that she thought this many steps ahead.
The defense is correct. The sword was wiped down before Sousuke took it up as his murder weapon. By the very same victims he'd go to claim with it.
That is a completely logical explanation. Damn it!
How do we respond to that?
We... check. We don't. I can't. It makes perfect sense.
So, does that mean that she's described what actually happened?
Not at all. I wiped off the sword myself because my prints were on it. Same as I wiped my prints off every other. Off of every other... Right. If I can't find fault with Emma's conclusion, I need to find fault with the logic that led her there.
I see. And how do you do that?
By adjusting my aim. As the people say, Your Honor, no one's fingerprints but my client's were on the murder weapon. That only makes sense if he's guilty, or being framed.
And there's no evidence to suggest that he's been framed because his captors had valid reasons for wiping off the sword.
That's true, they did have good reasons to wipe off the sword. But that's not the murder... But that's not the murder weapon I'm referring to. Oh yeah, the broken bat.
Wait, that doesn't have
Oh.
the gun.
Yeah, the gun.
Or wait, no, Sosuke's left hand. You destroy cherry on partial prints found. Only partial prints. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see what
because that's
she's
a
going
broken
for.
hand.
His left hand bashed the thing. So how is it using it on the gun?
Yeah, so, now let's... Oh, I'm already at max. Okay, let's do this. This gun's the murder weapon I'm referring to.
What?
The police are confident that this Mag US is the gun that was used to kill Tanks and Creek.
And your client was arrested with it on his person, and it has your client's prints on it.
But it was owned by Tanks.
Huh?
The record shows that Sosuke's are the only fingerprints on that doohickey.
Oh no, it's a doohickey.
So that means his tanks guy had never laid a finger on his own gun.
It's entirely possible that Tank simply liked to polish his gun too.
Phrasing.
So he was polishing it right up until the moment of his captor grabbed it and used it against him?
More phrasing.
Was it before or after his internal bleeding that my client took the gun off Tanks without him even laying a finger on it first? Before or after being tortured that he got the gun with no struggle?
They could have wrestled over the gun while he was out of reach.
Tanks had no injuries besides the hole in his chest. How'd he get into a struggle and not get so much as a scratch?
The likelihood of that scenario
Would seem to come down to the order in which each individual died, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then perhaps we ought to hear some more detailed testimony about that.
Of course.
The defense has no more questions for the witness, Your Honor. We don't object.
Hold on. What are you saying? Okie dokie then! Closing the connection. I said, wait, is Sosuke... Makoto seems to be in good spirits, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was his usual irreproachable self. So, how can you find something about that to be depressed over?
I'm ashamed that he testified at all. His appearance here runs the risk of sullying the house's visage with my mistakes.
Well, he couldn't exactly slip the subpoena by claiming he had homework to do.
You of all people should understand that the house doesn't have to appear in court if it truly doesn't want to. A fine levied at your account is always preferable to a smudge staining your reputation.
But he did testify.
Yes, and he no doubt went directly against one or more family elders to do so. He should not be incurring debts for my sake.
So he put himself at a disadvantage for you. Do you think Makoto would want you to apologize? Or do you think he'd want you to thank him?
He's young. He doesn't know what he wants yet. All right, we successfully bullied a child. That's a good day.
Yeah. How are we on time? Because I know these go.
We got about 30 minutes.
All right, I think that's pretty good for us to end a little bit early.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Bring this up. Backlog settings. Where is it? Just want to save first.
I was more joking, but I understand.
Yeah. All right. Well then, I'm gonna throw up the BRB screen while I find someone for us to raid. You can tell people where they can find you guys.
You can find me at the usual Zakoduo at Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky. Things are in the work. I'm still doing Gundam card game stuff. Currently working on longer term videos, so we'll see how those go. Nothing in particular planned, just kind of making it each day. That's all.
Hey, hello. You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. In about an hour and 30, we are going to be starting the next installment of The Lost and the Found, which is a Wilds Beyond the Witchlight campaign. If you like some Dungeons and Dragons, come stop by, check us out. Beyond that, not really sure what exactly is happening in terms of streams the next week, but I will be probably vocal about that on social media once I have a better idea of what's happening. Normally I don't do this, but to plug my cosplay stuff, we did just have the convention that a couple buddies of mine and I were at. They posted the 18 plus skit contest video on YouTube. I have put a link to that and a timestamp for those who want to watch the skit that we ended up winning, taking best in category for. If you want to see that, it's on my Blue Sky. Please check it out. Especially if you're a fan of games like Off, it was a really fun time. We were really proud of us and our ability to do that. But other than that, that's all I got going on.
All right, and hey, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Burnout Vaughn, and over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar. Not much left for this week. We've got some more Threadbare Suits coming up tomorrow, where we celebrate having defeated our first villain with 9 a.m. beers to cure our concussions. But hey, with that on the way, once I also know what's going on with streams this week, I'll let you know. I know we're probably going to try to find at least one day in this coming week to finally finish off the rest of Resident Evil Requiem, because I think we've only got like 2 hours left. But with that in mind, I think I saw the perfect person for us to raid, considering they're also doing a trial game. So
Amazing.
We'll raid Montegaloo. So what should our raid message be?
My immediate first thought is its name is Yoru.
I think that works, yeah. All right, let me type that up.
I got it.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming out. We will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boy.